Lavinia of Titas of Pageantry. And again, we have a special guest for our profile segment here on the Tita Lavinia channel. So today's special feature, by the way, is proudly brought to you by Exploria Travel. It's your trusted partner in creating personalized, meaningful, and unforgettable journeys. So, Exploria Travel and Exploria 360 Premier, one company, two experiences, endless possibilities. So, for this evening, my special guest is engineer Mark Francis Abella. He was the grand winner of Mr. Elite Society 2026 and is currently Mr. Universe Philcom KSA 2026. And he will be the official representative of the Filipino community in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia at Mr. Universe 2026, which will happen in India. So, without further ado, let's have Mark over so that you can get to know him better. So, sige. Pasok, Mark. Hello,
Hello,
good evening.
Tita. Good evening. Good morning there in the Philippines. Good evening here in
Good
KSA.
morning. Yes, absolutely. Kamusta ka?
I'm doing well, Tita. I'm doing great. Very busy this week. Last stretch of our preparations because this coming Saturday I'll be flying to India for the Mr. Universe competition. So very busy.
Ayan. Very
Yeah.
busy. Alam ko, I know the energy that surrounds a candidate kapag malapit ng mag-compete internationally. So,
Yes.
it's going to be very exciting for you. But, of course,
Definitely.
part of the campaign is for people to get to know you more.
Yeah.
Balikan natin, Mark. Let's move on. I read your bio. You're quite the slashy. Ang dami nating mga pinapasok na mga careers, ng mga industriya. Of course,
Yes.
alam ko to. But yes, please introduce yourself and your background to our audience.
Okay, once again, hello, good evening, everyone. Assalamualaikum, namaste. I'm Mark Francis Abella. I am an engineer. I am also a licensed nurse back in the Philippines. I am an entrepreneur. I have a small resort in Batangas. I am also a social media content creator, and I am an advocate. I am the founder of my advocacy, which is Hero Help Empower Recognize OFW. And most importantly, I am a single father to my 5-year-old daughter, Anaya. So that's it, Ita. Wearing many hats.
Grabe. Nadadamihan na ako sa mga gusto kong ilagay sa sarili ko as a writer, content creator, medyo binabawas-bawasan ko na. Pero ikaw talaga legit. Ang pinakamabigat na pinangahawakan ko sa bio mo, Mark, is that you finished as a nurse and then right now you're an engineer. That's quite a feat. Paano mo na balance ito sa buhay mo, Mark?
Paano na balance? Determination, also dream. Because if I could turn back time, I should have listened to my mom na
What?
mag-engineering.
Ano,
Na
mag-engineering
mag-engineering.
direction na?
Yes, because during the when I graduated high school, I didn't really know what course would I take. So, but during that time, nursing was like it was famous, and everyone wants to go to US as a nurse. And then I just go with the flow, and I went with my high school friends, and I took nursing, and then I became a licensed nurse in the Philippines. But then it was very competitive during the time. There's a lot of competitions, and in nursing, like companies prefer women nurses.
Okay.
So
Female
like
nursing.
competition is so tough, and then I ventured to another career, which is safety officer during the time back in the Philippines, and then I've been in the construction industry, so I saw the beauty of engineering, and
Wow.
that is why I tried to study engineering, and I graduated Bachelor of Science in Petroleum Engineering. Yeah, in
You know,
Palawan State
it's,
University.
oh gosh, I mean, to devote 4 years of your life to a career as a nurse, I mean, to
Mm.
studies as a nurse,
Yeah.
practice a little bit, and then, find the beauty in engineering. So much so to the point na mag-e-enroll ka, tatapusin mo yung curriculum, magiging engineer ka. I mean, definitely this is a privilege, but at the same time, yes, definitely determination as well kasi hindi
Yeah.
ganun kadali. I mean, most ng mga tao naghahanap na kaagad ng trabaho yan, kumikitang kabuhayan. Buti na fit mo pa yung pangalawang ah, degree.
Yes. Yeah.
Buti kinaya. Okay. All
Time
right. And
management.
so, you worked in the Philippines for a while and then tinapos mo yung engineering degree mo and then right now you're in the field of engineering, particularly in safety. Tell us
Yeah.
about how you got to Saudi Arabia. Alam ko maraming mga uh, kababayan natin na nakakapunta sa Middle East, but why Saudi Arabia? Because, when we talk about Saudi Arabia, we talk about our fathers, our uncles, and everybody from the town. But
Yes.
yeah, why Saudi Arabia?
Fun fact, Tita. Saudi Arabia it was the least country that I prefer to work with. Kapag 'di ba dati
Okay.
nagsusulat ka sa resume, nakalagay doon kung ano yung mga preferred country mo na gusto mong pagtrabahuhan, and then ano yung mga least countries. And every time Saudi Arabia lagi yung susulat ko dun sa list. I don't like to work here, to be honest with you, Tita. Because of the stigma. Because 'di ba, sabi walang buhay dito, pure work lang, masyadong stricto because this is like the heart of Islam, because Saudi Arabia, Mecca is here. So, very stricto. And then there's a lot of stigma like yung mga tao dito is yung na-abuse, even mga lalaki. So, there wasn't a stigma before. But when I got here in Saudi Arabia, it changes everything. Because Saudi Arabia is a totally different from the way I saw it before, or I heard it
Okay.
from some of the OFWs from before.
Oh,
It was like a totally you're gonna change your mind about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is very safe country. We are advanced in technology. We have a good landmarks, a good malls are advanced. The technology is advanced as well. So it's really nice to be here, and I am happy that I was like given the opportunity to work here in Saudi Arabia. Yeah,
and how long have you been working in Saudi Arabia?
8 years.
8 years. Tanungin dati si Mark. Mark, ah, kailan ba yung huling visit mo sa Pilipinas?
Last January lang, tita.
Last January. So, kaya naman pala. Hindi
Yes
naman
po.
pala 8 years. Ayan. So,
Yeah, I've been
so
working here for 8 years, pero yung vacation ko is every 6 months naman.
balik-balik naman. Yes. Because you also
But
mentioned that you're a single father and
yes,
you have a kid here. So, balikan muna natin ngayon yung pageant life mo. Kasi, nailatag mo na you're a nurse and then an engineer. I know it eats up a lot of your time. So, meron pa tayong pamilya dito sa Pilipinas. You have a child here in the Philippines. So, paano ngayon na-fit yung pageantry sa buhay mo? Because like you said, sobrang busy mo, you're training, you're fitting, you're doing interviews, eto na yung last stretch. Please tell
yeah.
our viewers how you stumbled into pageantry in the first place.
All right. Pageantry never came into my head. Really, this is my first pageant ever, and I didn't know that I'm going to win. To be honest, I was scouted by the owner of Mr. Elite Society. He saw my Facebook profile, and then he approached me if I would like to audition. And then during the time I was in the Philippines, so wala naman akong ginagawa masyado. So sabi ko, why not try to audition? And then kung makuha, okay, sige, pag-iisipan kung itutuloy. And then kung hindi, pwede naman mag-back out. So, but then again, um, so yun na. Luckily, nakapasa. And then, sabi ko, let's try like, because tita, kapag nagtatrabaho ka dito sa Saudi kasi, parang very routinary siya. Very routine yung trabaho. Like, tatrabaho ka, uuwi ka ng kampo, ng accommodation mo, kakain, manonood ng Netflix or movie, YouTube, like that. And then, the following day, same thing. Like, paulit-ulit lang. On weekends, coffee, something like that. So sabi ko, why not, like, mabago naman yung cycle, yung routine. So, trinay ko siya. And then, I saw the beauty and pageantry. And to be honest with you, tita, nung nandun na ako sa nagpa-pageant na ako, then I had this training, ang dami kong nalaman. And nagkaroon ako ng mataas na respeto sa mga taong sumasali ng pageantry. Because pageantry is not just about body, it's not just about the beauty of the face. It is about discipline. It is about hard work because it's about commitment. Because you really have to commit. You have to commit, like even your finances as well. You have to
Yeah.
commit your time.
Yeah.
And then it's really like an athlete dito sa pagdating sa pageantry na yung walk is very technical. I thought before na yung walk is just lalakad ka lang ng stage and then everything is
Point A
okay
to
na.
point B.
Hindi
Oo.
pala ganun. And then yung question and answer, I thought, di ba, ang dali nating mag-critic? Like kapag audience ka, oh, hindi maganda yung sagot. Pero pag ikaw na pala yung nandun sa stage, ang hirap pala. And then yung pinagdadaanan ng contestants before ka makarating doon sa final stage, it was dugot pawis, literal. Because you really have to train. So, um, yun. And then, at the same time, and the most important part of pageantry na nangyari sa akin is yung nagkaroon ako ng purpose na nagkaroon ako ng advocacy. Actually, yung advocacy ko, nag-start na naman siya nung nag-start ako mag-content creator. But then again, na-amplify lang siya nung pumasok ako sa pageantry. So, and then nakadevelop ako ng pangalan ng advocacy ko, which is yun nga, yung hero. And then nag-focus ako sa welfare ng ating mga OFWs. And then nalaman ko during the time, kasi syempre, papasok ka sa ganyan, dapat marami kang alam. Ano-ano yung mga problema ng mga OFWs dito sa Saudi Arabia, even dito sa Middle East. Ano-ano yung mga violations na nakukumit nila and even yung mga abuse na nare-receive nila sa mga companies na pinapasukan nila, mga employers nila. Ang daming cases. Even during the pandemic, there was a lot of people who got repatriated because of the mental health, emotional distress na nangyari, even the physical health or medical health nila. So that was one of the issues. And then nangyari yung giyera, tita, dito between Middle East countries. So again, there's a lot of people who got affected, especially those people who are working and living here in the Middle East, particularly in Saudi Arabia and the nearby countries. So there's a lot of issues and concerns that needs to be addressed. And just like yung nangyari last week lang, nagpunta ako ng OWA and then I was able to talk with the labor attaché of migrant workers office here in Saudi Arabia. And then he just told me na yung problema ng mga OFW, yes, nandyan yung ahensya, pero minsan hindi kaya talaga ng ahensya na tulungan ang bawat isa. So they are very fortunate that there are advocates, private organizations, as well as private community people na nagtutulong-tulong for us to help yung mga OFWs natin na nakakaranas ng abuso, nakakaranas ng problema while working here abroad. So that's one of the like meaningful na nangyari sa akin na napasok ko dito sa pageantry. And that's why that is why I found beauty in pageantry. That's why I fell in love with pageantry, is because of the causes na pwede mong magawa dun sa platform na build mo throughout your pageant journey. And I'm going to continue that kapag nagpunta na ako ng India, and I'm going to share to to the world, to the universe about my advocacy, and that is something that I'm very proud of.
It's very interesting to note because, listening to your story, and of course, as someone who works with you for Q&A, doon ko kasi naintindihan kung gaano ka-organic tong journey mo. Palagi akong takang-taka. I mean, I think a lot of people who follow me here know that yes, I dabble in Q&A. I also help like guys with their pageantry, but they know that I don't cover male pageantry as
Yeah.
extensively as I cover female pageantry.
Yeah.
Dito sa Pilipinas, kailan lang kaliwat kanan yung mga nag-withdraw sa isang
Yeah.
male pageant.
Yeah.
Kailan lang may mga controversy sa isang major male pageant competition and yung roster ng mga nanalo. So medyo maingay ang male pageantry ngayon sa Pilipinas
Yeah.
for the wrong reasons. And
Yeah.
palagi namin minsan napag-uusapan na parang ang hirap talagang i-elevate ng male pageantry, no? But it kind of gives me hope whenever I listen to someone like you who understands na there is male pageantry. It's not as big as female pageantry, but
Yeah.
anyone like you can find purpose. And purpose is something na naririnig namin paulit-ulit sa mga female candidates. Hindi namin na-realize na pwede rin pala yun maging authentic sa isang male candidate. Ngayon, ang
Yeah.
gusto kong tanungin sa'yo is, ano ngayon ang diferensya? Because you were already a content creator, and as a content creator you can also accomplish these things, help our migrant workers, connect through OWA. Kaya mo naman to on your own as a content creator. Anong pinagkaiba ngayon na official candidate ka in a male pageant arena?
Yes, Tita. Ngayon, Tita, I have a bigger platform. I have my organization backing me up about dun sa causes na pinaglalaban ko. And hopefully, kapag nakapunta na ako ng India, I will be having more audience. Because currently, yung advocacy ko is isolated lang dito sa Saudi Arabia. And my plan is, if hopefully, inshallah, I win the Mr. Universe title, I can, spread the words and help not just the OFWs or the overseas workers like not just overseas workers in Saudi Arabia, but overseas workers like across the world, around the world. So it is something that I am planning and that I am praying for na if in case na manalo ako sa Mr. Universe sa India, I will be able to share more. I will, and tita, kapag nandun na kasi ako, magkakaroon ako ng different like friends from other countries. I think we are more than
Okay.
20 candidates. So I can, I can
Networking, oo, is also important.
impart my story about, because I believe also that I am the only one who is an overseas worker, and because majority of them are like representative of their own countries. So I am the only Filipino community representations sa Mr. Universe. So I have a very good story to tell and a good story to share with my other candidates, that I can spread the words not just here in Saudi Arabia but in India to the world. So yeah, and I need that platform for me to be able to do that.
Okay. Well, it makes sense nga naman kasi syempre, uh, palagi natin sinasabi, yes, as individuals, you can definitely accomplish a lot of these things for the kababayans or for any cause na malapit ka, but it hits differently when you have like a bigger platform, mas marami kang nare-reach, so it makes sense. Now,
Yeah.
what I want to also know is, alam mo naman na-mention mo rin kanina, thinking about Saudi Arabia, meron tayong stigma. Ako, honestly, naiisip ko nga yung mga uncle, yung mga papa natin na nag-Saudi Arabia, yung mga
Yeah.
bato-bato katawan, yung talagang lalaking lalaki.
That's
Um,
right.
Paano yung naging stigma ngayon? Kasi alam naman natin na pageantry, 'di ba? Parang pang babaeng endeavor talaga 'yan. Traditionally, siguro kung medyo late siya nakaka-catch up dito, aba mas lalong late ngayon maka-catch up sa mga Middle Eastern countries. Kamusta yung naging reception? Knowing of course Saudi Arabia yung nire-represent mo. Kamusta yung mga naging reception ng mga kasamahan mo diyan, mga kaopisina mo nung
Yeah.
nalaman nila?
I think the world is evolving, no? Like what we always said, the only constant in the world is change. We are changing. Even Saudi Arabia also is changing. We are changing when it comes to technology, when it comes to industry, when it comes to the entertainment. There's also a lot of content creators coming from Saudi Arabia. Everything, although Saudi Arabia it's still a very strict country. They are very strict when it comes to their Islamic programs and Islamic implementations here in Saudi Arabia. But um, nowadays, people are more receptive. They embrace the like this kind of industry, and even Tita Filipino community here are. I'm I am coming from the eastern region, and there's also a lot of regions who also conduct the same kind of event like modeling contest, pageantry contest. So ang dami nang nangyayari dito
Galing.
with the Filipino community because
Saudi
this
Arabia.
yeah, this is our way of like connecting with each other, like feeling like that we are not away from home, although we yeah physically we are away from
I
our
see.
family, but like having all these events will it is a lit it like is like a bit of those homesickness that we are feeling while we are away from our family. So those community that we have built here, all those events that our Filipino communities are conducting here in Saudi Arabia, gave us like an avenue for us to at least breathe and at least forget about the things that makes us a little bit sad and make us feel like we are also human, and we are, although we are working here, and it is it is our just one way of making sure that we still feel the life that we wanted to have while working here in Saudi Arabia.
I see. So it's like some sort of a diversion, some sort of like
Diversion.
an outlet. Okay, all
Yes.
right. Now I understand.
Mm.
Um, what about your family? Your family back home? Please tell our audience, taga saan ba si Mark? Saan ba ang baluarte ni Mark
Yes.
Francis?
All right. So I am from Batangas City, from Batangas.
Yon!
Yes.
Batangas!
Lalawigan ng mga barako, lalawigan ng kaping barako. Um, I'm very proud, alae. We are disciplined people, basta Batanggenyo, disiplinado. And yeah, I like all my life I was in Batangas. And I'm very proud of
So,
my
born and raised.
born and raised.
How did your family take this? I mean, of course, your family would probably understand yung
Yeah.
appeal ng pageantry. Alam mo naman dito sa Pilipinas, it's a big deal. But
Yeah.
when your family found out, when your daughter, tama ba? Your daughter found out, tama ba?
Yeah.
That you're competing in a pageant, anong naging reception nila?
They are very supportive, Tita. Actually, they during my competition here in Saudi Arabia, they were the ones who campaigning. All my relatives, all my family, my mother, my father, they were campaigning for me for the votes. I won the
So you got
popular.
to have votes.
Yes, we had like voting contest also during the Mr. Elite competition. They were the ones campaigning. All my relatives, all my friends back in the Philippines as well. They were the ones like campaigning, sharing all my all my posts, making sure that I will get the most votes among other candidates. And even my friends here in Saudi Arabia, all of them helped me. So I was very grateful for all the support that I have received. And just like what I mentioned during the competition, and the first thing that comes into my head, I was interviewed by one of the pageant page here in Saudi Arabia, Philippine pageant. I forgot the name. And then he asked me, what do you feel? And then I just told him that grateful. That is one word that could describe what I felt during after I won the crown. So just grateful for everyone who have supported me all throughout since day one.
I'm sure, like, I know that your international competition is, pretty near. It will be in India, but
Yes.
I'm sure that they're like already very proud of
Yeah.
where you are.
Yeah.
And I want to delve deeper into where you are right now. Definitely, you're a different person from when you started pageantry. Sabi mo nga,
Yeah.
this was very organic. You stumbled into this. At one point in your story, parang narinig ko, ikaw din talaga yung nag-seek ng mga sarili mong trainers, ikaw din yung naghanap ng the designers that you can work with. So sa libro ko, ikaw yung tipo ng kandidata or candidate na talagang kumilos on your own.
Yeah.
The Philippines is known as a powerhouse country in pageantry. May it be
Yeah.
female pageantry, male pageantry, trans pageantry, we do so well. Ano yung nakita mong trait sa sarili mo na natural pala sa mga kontesero at kontesera ng Pilipinas kung bakit ka nagsasucceed? Because, I'm looking at you, it seems na successful ka for like balancing everything. Ano yung parang self-discovery mo na meron pala talaga kaming ganito sa Pilipinas? Or at least yung mga lumalaban para sa Pilipinas?
Yes, Tita. I think we are naturally competitive, no? And because when I got in doon sa competition, so I barely know people here dito sa industry ng pageantry dito sa Saudi Arabia because before I was just a normal employee. I was just working, eating, sleep, then repeat. And I don't know anyone. I didn't know anyone. So and then is he ano mong tawag doon? Nilagay ko na yung sarili ko. I committed myself doon sa pinasok ko. Because I'm the kind of person na pag nilagay ko yung mind ko sa isang bagay, uh, either win or lose, I'm going to do my best. And ayoko mapahiya. And I just want to represent myself the best way possible I could sa competition. That's my goal. That's the only goal I had during that time is to represent myself to the fullest. My I can the best potential that I could be sa finals during the finals of that competition. So that's the only goal I had. That's the only goal I had. So I tried to source out people who are in the pageantry. I tried to message some photographers, some trainers, managers, handlers. Maybe you can handle me, something like that. And then no one, no one accepted my offer. Like they were just ignoring me.
Oh, talaga ba? Naku, mahirap, oo.
Yeah,
Hindi pala din ganun
I was
kadali.
rejected by many. And that's the time that I asked the mother organization to, hey, I need somebody to help me because I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do, tita. Kasi I have no idea nga eh. So they refer my manager now, which is Mr. P. So I'm very thankful na tinulungan niya talaga ako since the day na sinabi nung Mr. Elite org na please help this guy, and then I think my manager saw potentials in me, and then he helped me from the day that we met up to this stage, up to this day. So he never doubted me na mananalo ako during that time, and until now he still believes in me, which I am very thankful for.
Nice, nice. I
So
mean, this week, the Philippines had another victory in terms of
Yes.
pageantry. Katrina Liagado won the title for Miss Supranational. Ngayon na active candidate ka, ngayon na nagpe-prepare ka for your international competition, I'm sure mas aware ka dun sa mga movers and shakers in pageantry. I'm sure aware ka sa pagkapanalo ni Katrina Legado. Ah, anong nakikita mo ngayon sa sarili mo na nagpe-pay off yung level ng training kaya yung mga kababayan natin na katulad ni Katrina nananalo? Uh, do you feel like a sense of pride? Do you feel like nakaka-connect ka sa kanya because you're also doing the same things that she did um when she prepared for her pageant in Poland?
Yeah. Yes, Tita. First of all, I'm very proud of Katrina. I think she joined several times. She did not win at first, second time, third time around, and then finally she got the Mr. Supranational crown, which I'm very proud, and I look up to her because of her determination. And yes, I believe that we are a pageant like powerhouse when it comes to pageantry because we have a very strong training system back in the Philippines, and
Yes.
also the contestants there, and even us here in Filipino community in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, we are trying our best as well to adopt what the the pageant system we have in the Philippines, and that is why we are sourcing people like you, Tita, like other people who are also in the pageant industry that who could help us like succeed in the pageant industry. So I am very proud, and I'm also like very at ease, like if I'm working with somebody who I know that could help me, like yourself and all other people who are there to help the candidate to in the competition. It is something that give us pride. Give me personally, it gives me pride that I've been trained by one and only Tita Lavinia, and I've been trained by people, by also other people who have been helping me even before. They were also back in the Philippines. They were also trainer of some of the beauty beauty, what do you call it, beauty pageant candidates, and also queens. Like the one who's been training me now for my walk is a former trainer of Angela Ong, Miss Earth.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from Iloilo also, Mr. JM. So I'm very thankful for everyone who are with me on this journey, and making sure that when I go to India that I am at my best self, and I can represent the Filipino community the best way possible.
Ayan. Uh, recently there was a controversy about someone saying na uh, it's because of the halfies kung bakit
Yeah.
successful ang Pilipinas in pageantry. But here you are saying that it's really the training system. It's really the program that instills excellence sa mga
Yes.
pinapadala natin.
Yeah.
Now that you're preparing, ano yung pinakamahirap sa pag-prepare mo in pageantry? Was it the physical side? Was it Q&A? What was it?
Pinakamahirap, number one,
Ayun.
time management.
Yeah, I
That is
know.
the most, because here,
Guys,
Dita,
kung hindi nyo alam, nagkikita kami ng 2 in the morning. 2 in the
that's the
morning sa
number.
panahon ko.
Yes, because
Hmm.
dito sa Saudi Arabia, I'm working from Saturday until Thursday, from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So the only time I have is whole day Friday. And then the other extra time is during the weekdays after 6 p.m. So you really have to commit yourself. You really have to have this passion about the things that you do, because it's not easy. It is something that you really have to like. give your time and effort for all the things for you, just for you to succeed on this journey. And I think for me that is the hardest part of this competition, of this journey, of these preparations. And then second thing, I think I I think the walk also, it's very hard because I'm not a pageant ki- kind of guy, and I know just like a normal walk. I've never trained any walk before, so it's one of the hardest part. And even Q&A also sometimes I find it hard, but I think that if you just know, you just really know, you just need to know about yourself, about your core, about your values, and just a little bit of help or training just to structure what you have in you. So I think um doable naman siya. And then but yeah, sometimes nga because of those challenges, situations, medyo nagiging mahirap nga lang siya kasi nga kung siguro naka full time ako dito, like I can do it like twice or three times a week, I think it would be much better. But then again, we have to face the reality that we are here in Saudi Arabia to work, and this is just like a sideline of the passions that we have, about the purpose that we would like to pursue by the help of the pageantry. It is something that, yeah, I think that is the one of the challenges, or few of the challenges that a pageant contestants, particularly here in the Filipino community in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, or probably in other countries, face the same challenges as mine.
Well, you're leaving soon to compete in India. We all know na aabutin ka ng ilang linggo diyan. Paano yung magiging arrangement mo sa work? Lenient naman ba sila? Naiintindihan ba or naareglo mo na 'to?
Okay, tita. Fun fact again. During the competition here in Saudi, there are three titles actually sa Mr. Elite Society. May Mr. Universe, may Man of the World, and also may Mr. Majestic. So three titles yung pinaglalabanan. And then of course, nag-research ako doon sa tatlong competitions. And it so happened na yung Mr. Universe competitions will be conducted on August. And that is exactly the time of my vacation
Iyo.
leave during this for this year 2026. So I manifested it. Minanifest ko yung tita. And during the competition also they asked me, what crown would you like to take tonight? And then I said I want Mr. Universe because it aligns with my purpose, it aligns with my vacation. And
Yes, yung
yeah,
pinakaimportante do'n.
yes.
Mm.
So, ayun. So, lahat, sabi nga, kapag nag-align yung stars, talagang it's for you. So, talagang nag-align lahat during that night. Nag-align lahat sa akin na maging sa akin yung title ng Mr. Universe.
Yun naman pala.
Yeah.
Okay, so talagang mukhang nilalatag talaga sa'yo lahat
Lahat.
para makuha mo
Yes.
'to. So, talk to us a little bit about Mr. Universe. Anong background nito? Are you the only representative na may dugong Pinoy? Kasi Philcom KSA yung representation mo. Tell us more information, like when, where will this happen?
All right. So, Mr. Universe competitions will happen on August 12. That is the competition proper. August 12 to 16. 16 would be the coronation night. Um, it will be participated by more than 20 participants. As far as I know, there are 20 plus confirmed candidates. One also from the Philippines. We will be competing with each other, but we will be friends for sure during the
For sure.
competition. Yes. Yeah. So this pageant has been running for about 4 years now. So this is going to be their fifth edition. So I'm very excited, and hopefully that I could take the crown for the fifth editions of Mr. Universe this time. It's
Yan.
for
May Pinoy na
mm,
ba? May Pinoy na ba na nakapanalo ng title na 'to?
yes, 2022, I believe it was
2020.
the Philippines who won the Mr. Universe crown.
Naku, pangalawa ka na. Manifest mo na rin 'yun. Mukhang malakas ka sa manifestation, eh.
Yes,
Ayan.
naniniwala ako
Um,
talaga.
Naniniwala rin ako dahil oo nga, lahat ng mga kuwento mo parang sumasakto. I wanna know though, competition or the coronation night will happen on the 16th. Out of the 20 plus contestants that are vying, ano sa tingin mo, Mark, yung pinaka-edge mo? Like, why would the organization choose you? You're a very busy person.
Mm.
Talk to us about commitment as well, because, if you end up as the reigning king of Mr. Universe, I'm sure it's also gonna eat up your time. What's the plan, Mark?
Yeah, as what I have mentioned, I am a very committed person. Apart from my experience, I have a lot of experience in life. As what I have mentioned also a while ago, that I wear many hats in life. And even so, I was able to commit and with each of the roles that I've been taking right now. So um why would the organizations choose me is because I know the responsibility of being um, if I will win the Mr. Universe, the responsibility of behind the crown, because I always believe that the crown is not just about putting it there during it will not stop during the coronations, because the responsibility comes after the coronations, and that is why I am ready and I know the responsibilities. I've been there. I won Mr. Universe Philcom KSA here in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and from the time that I won that pageant, I never stopped. I continue my advocacy. I continue doing my purpose. I continue, although it was not mandatory for the organizations to do things, but voluntarily, in my own initiative, I was doing all of those programs that would make my reign purposeful, and it will make my reign meaningful, because it is not just about, okay, I want the crown, and I want to prove something to people that I am not just about the title, and the title for me is just like, okay, I won, and what comes after, I will just put my crown and my sash somewhere in my room. It shouldn't be like that. It should be, you should know how to work, and you should know that your responsibility of being the Mr. Universe. And I think that is my edge with when it comes to uh, edge with other candidates. And I'm also a very hardworking person, and I think the organizations could see that.
Uh, at dahil dyan, have you stalked some of your
Yes.
co-candidates? Sino yung mga medyo malakas-lakas din na magiging kakumpetensya mo? Napapataobin natin.
Yeah.
Sino mga
Spain.
malalakas?
When it comes to physical, it's going to be Spain. Lagi naman candidates from Spain, talagang yung face, yung body nila, as in para laging hinulma. So when it comes to physical attributes, I think Spain is one of the strongest.
Oo,
And
umaaribang Spain this year, no? Kahit
yes,
saan
yes,
sila. Okay.
yes. And I think Philippines also has a chance, because he has also an eloquent speaker. I think he's an intelligent guy. So I saw his competitions just recently lang po natapos last August, I believe, and then I watched it. I watched his Q&A and I think he's a brilliant guy.
Okay.
So nag-ano kami sa head-to-head challenge.
Bale, yan ang paghahandaan natin.
Yeah.
Yun naman pala paghahandaan natin. Head-to-head challenge mostly really focuses on how well you know your advocacy, how well you know the causes na ina-advance mo talaga. Earlier, you mentioned about your advocacy. Please tell us more about this. Meron ba kaming mga platforms na pwede namin sundan? And if there are current programs that are running or probably achievements ng hero na pwede mong i-share, please go ahead and share it with us.
All right, Tita. So I'm very proud to introduce about my advocacy, which is HERO. HERO means help, empower, recognize OFWs. So this is basically about helping our OFWs, inspiring them, empowering them, and also recognizing yung mga magandang nagagawa natin dito sa community, within the community dito sa bansang pinagtatrabahuhan natin. Because it's not just only about the sacrifices, about the sad moments of OFWs. Because even we are working here away from home, we are also doing our best. And you know, Filipino workers, Tita, we are competitive, we are brilliant. So
World
on the things that
peace.
we do, and we are also contributing not just only to the company that we are working with, but also to the community of the Philippines, of the Filipino here in Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. It's one way also, or what do you call it? It is also one of the the objective of my advocacy hero is to recognize those achievements and the good deeds that our fellow OFWs are doing here in Saudi Arabia. So currently, we have a lot of programs that have been done in the past, and um, now probably I'm not probably I am proud also to say that we run a scholarship program, and yeah, I have two scholars currently na pinafund ng ating advocacy, which is HERO, na hopefully makatulong yon at makapagbigay sa kanila ng mas magandang oportunidad. They are also an OFW here in Saudi Arabia. Nagtatrabaho, yung isa is nagtatrabaho as masahista, yung isa naman nagtatrabaho as technician. And then they are now studying nursing assistant. And then they also have a dream to have a better opportunity, and basically that is not just for themselves but also for their family, and which that this is the main goal and of my advocacy is to help them to give them a better opportunity, because it's going to be my legacy, Tita, if I'm going to see that guy and that girl like succeeding in life. It's going to be my pride and honor. So yeah, I'm very excited for that, and hopefully this is for now we only have two, and hopefully if and eventually later on we can have like more scholars that we can give an opportunity for them to we can give hope to them to like to better their life, hopefully in the future.
O Mark, mabuhay ka. Alam mo, napaka-supportive natin sa OFW community. We're even more supportive kapag nakakarinig tayo ng mga uh, storya of giving back and, on a level of providing education. Like, these are all noble things. These are all things na ang sarap pakinggan bilang Pilipino dahil the very spirit of bayanihan seems to still be alive, kahit na walang physical na bahay na tinatransport. It's the very idea of helping out because I mean, let's face it, as an engineer working abroad, I'm sure kumikitang kabuhayan kahit na ang hirap ng ginagawa mo dyan. I'm sure yung balik niyan financially, malaki-laki kumpara sa regular na mga manggagawa dito sa Pilipinas. So to even think about other people to give back and replicate that, it's a really big thing. And I'm sure that you're gonna continue this. I mean, bakit ka pa nag-pageantry? Na-mention mo nga kanina na there's the idea of networking as well, meeting other people. So I really hope na mas lumago pa to sa'yo.
Yeah.
We touched on a little bit about your family. We touched a little bit, there was a mention of you being a single father.
Yeah.
Uh, Before I wrap this one up, talk to us about your sentiments being a single father in this day and age. Malayo ka sa anak mo, kaliwat kanan yung mga bali-balita na, yung influence ng social media sa kabataan, ang daming nangyayari na hindi naman normal na nababalitaan natin nung panahon mo, panahon ko,
Yeah.
probably, like a few years ago, wala pang ganitong klase. Anong mga fears mo, ano yung mga hopes mo and aspirations mo na ma-pick up ng anak mo dito sa ginagawa mo?
Yes, tita. Actually, yung father ko, tita, was also an OFW for 25 years. So, and during that time, hindi ko alam kung ano yung sacrifices na ginagawa niya. Nagpo-provide lang siya sa amin ng money. And then, sumusulat lang siya sa amin. Cassette tapes before pa. So, tapos yung birthday cards, yung pag inaano mong ganyan, tumutunog ng happy birthday. Diba? Ganun pa yung unang panahon. So that was my life with my dad before, like way back. But now we are very fortunate that we are in this day and age na meron na tayong technology, meron na tayong social media. So it's very easy for us to connect with our family, especially I have a daughter. So every day I'm calling her and then making sure that I make time for her. So um but yes, I agree with you that has been a lot of issues lately when it comes to the usage of social media, about restrictions of at whether there has been a talk about the restrictions of social media with the child, with the kids. So that's one of my fear. And even tita, just to tell you before, nag-away kami na hindi man nag-away. Nagtalo kami nung nanay ko. It's because yeah, because may pinapanood yung anak ko sa YouTube na I think medyo violent siya para sa isang bata,
Okay.
which is hindi niya maintindihan, which I was very hostile during that time. And that's the time that lahat ng mga sites na pwedeng ano ng sa YouTube pinagbo-block. I asked my niece to block all of them, and also even myself, I check them all para at least walang napanood yung anak ko na yung mga ganong klase ng video. And I think it is the responsibility of the parents to always guide their kids, because because the moment that you're going to give the gadgets and you're going to give access to your kids sa social media, so nandiyan na yan, lahat ng possibilities, nandiyan na, hindi mo na makokontrol yan. But it is our responsibility as parents, as also as guardians, to making sure that our kids are properly protected, they are properly guided, they are properly monitored, and making sure na yung access din nila is very limited. It is just like what we are doing right now. The access that I can only give to my daughter is during the weekends, because during the weekdays nag-aaral na kasi yung daughter ko. So no tablets, no cell phones at all during the weekdays, only during the weekends. And it has to be properly monitored by my parents. Since yun nga, isa sa mahirap din sa akin is I'm here in the outside the country. I cannot monitor my kids like 24/7. So I asked my parents to do it on my behalf. So yeah, it's quite a challenging because my parents also were kind of old, and but I am asking the support also of my sister and even my nieces to properly guide my daughter, and then also to limit the time also of the access to the social media, because this is really social media. I appreciate all the good things that social media can give us, but also it could be harmful as well if we are not going to, you know we're not going to use it properly, and we're not going to restrict access, especially to the kids nowadays, because everything now is available online.
Oo nga, everything talaga. So, yung pagka-hands-on mo 'no, parang nararamdaman ko pa rin kahit na malayo ka, very hands-on ka pa rin.
Yes.
Um, na-mention ko rin naman 'to and I'm sure a lot of people are curious, to go into pageantry is one thing, to balance work is another, but there's also another layer to you. You're a single father. It's very unusual. Anong mga challenges mo as a single father and ano yung mga hino-hope mo na sana matutunan ng anak mo dito sa mga ginagawa mo ngayon?
The very challenge I have right now is being away from my daughter. Before, tita, hindi ko
Formative
nararamdaman
years,
yung,
no?
yes, hindi ko
Ilang
nararamdaman
taon
yung
na siya?
pagiging OFW. 5 years old.
5.
Nung bachelor pa ako, yung wala pa akong anak, like, yung ibang bansa, parang ano lang sa akin, Manila lang. Pero nung nagkaroon ako ng anak, that's the first time na naubiyak ako sa airport. Na naramdaman ko na OFW talaga ako.
Oh my gosh, daman-daman natin yung mga commercial nila Gary V, yung
Yes,
mga Christmas commercials.
doon ko siya
Okay.
naramdaman na yung nagpipigil ako ng luha, papasok ako ng airport, nagpipigil ako ng luha kasi nakikita ko yung anak ko na papalayo kasi again, lalaki na naman siya for another 6 months na hindi ako kasama. So ano yung mga milestones niya sa buhay, hindi ko nasusubaybayan, hindi ko na-attendan. First day of school niya, wala ako. Ang good thing during yung first birthday niya and yung second birthday niya nasa Pilipinas ako. Pero nitong mga recent birthdays niya, recent years, wala ako sa Pilipinas. Mga activities sa schools na kinakailangan ng father, which is hindi ko magawa kasi nga I have to work. I need to provide. And I need to be here also. And this is what I always explain to her is this, daddy is doing this for your future. And yeah, that is sad reality. I know it's probably gas-gas na, pero it's still a reality. Even because before, yeah, I don't understand. I didn't understand. Even my father, when he was working abroad, I didn't understand his sacrifices. But when I became a father, so that's the time that I realized ko na these are these are real. These are the reality
Real
of being an
problems,
OFW.
no? Oo pala.
Yes.
My gosh. Mark, mabuhay ka. I am no stranger to fathers abandoning their children. I'm no stranger to stories of, irresponsible fathers. Alam mo naman ang case natin sa Pilipinas. We always say that we're family oriented, but when you
Yeah.
look around, parang napakakonti lang talaga yung mga kilala mong pamilyang solid. Ikaw na nagtataguyod ng daughter mo mag-isa, we're not gonna go into details kung bakit nga ba mag-isa, but I'm sure people will be curious on this. But I'm just saying, it takes like a real man to man
Yeah.
up to responsibilities, and lalo na sa lagay mo, you have a daughter. It's more delicate when you're
Yeah.
raising a daughter, I would
Yeah.
say, rather than when you raise a son. Um, there's so many things on your plate. Apart from your stint as a nurse, and then you're very active father, you're still an active employee, you're doing this with gusto. Mark, what do you do for fun? What do you do to relax? What are
I
your
find joy.
interests?
I find joy on the things that I do, tita.
You do.
It's like,
Okay, so eto siya, eto na yon.
yes, ito na yun. We have to face again the reality that since I already told you, I told you previously that I am a committed person. I always commit. When I commit myself, I need to find joy on the things that I do. So I find joy in pageantry. I find joy in the photo shoots that we are doing, like almost every weekend. Na nakakapagod.
Oo.
I find joy in having a Q&A training with you. I
Wow.
find joy in like training my walk and being a content creator as well. That is also my way of like distressing after work. So yeah, you just really need to find joy on the things that you are doing, because we are here, and we have a limited, limited life that we can do. So you really have to find joy, really, on the things that you commit yourself into.
Very interesting. Well, uh, one of the things na alam namin based on your bio na ginagawa mo is also content creating. So that's another skill altogether. But
Yeah,
the reason why we have this episode today is because of Exploria Travel. So
yeah,
Exploria Travel is actually sponsoring our episode today.
yeah,
I learned that you're one of the newest brand ambassadors of Exploria Travel.
yeah.
And, we talk about helping each other. We talk about you giving back through your hero advocacy. But since you're the newest phase of Exploria Travel, gusto kong malaman ngayon, how do you plan to promote the Philippines, like as a world-class travel destination? I'm sure you're familiar about a lot of the issues, a lot of the problems that the tourism industry is facing here in the Philippines, but you have a new power altogether, a new platform as the brand ambassador of this travel agency. Your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah, first of all, I'm very honored and for the trust that Exploria Travel have given me. I'm going to use my platform, Dita. As mentioned, I am a social media content creator. So I can use my platform to promote the Philippines. Because right now, what is happening is the people in the Philippines, they prefer to go to another country like Vietnam, Thailand,
Yes,
Taiwan,
yes.
Macau, Singapore. Yeah, instead of traveling to the Philippines. And this is my plan, is to inspire people to travel to the Philippines by using Explorer Travel to promote the Philippines, and by sharing my stories, my travel stories, by using my platform, by inspiring them to travel to the Philippines, and making, because Tita, Philippines has a lot to offer. To be honest, natural resources, we have beaches, we have good mountains, we have a lot of things to offer. But what I would like also to tell to the people, to the Filipino as well as to the international travelers, that there's more in the Philippines. Like, we can promote also the cuisines. And I'm very thankful now that our cuisines, like specifically the ube, is like, it's getting noticed around the world. Adobo also is getting the hype right now. It's getting noticed as well. And I'm also the festivals that we have, the the heritage that we have, the what do you call it, and the local communities, because our genuine hospitality, it is something that is very exceptional, and something that
True.
they couldn't find in any part of the world, because we are very hospitable people, and it's very genuine. Our smile, our greet when it comes, especially to the people who are visiting our places. So they are all genuine, and I would like everyone, the Filipino, even the international traveler, to have a genuine connections with the locals, with the local communities, and then to experience the place, to experience their journey with the local communities, and they can do that by um, the help of agencies or travel agencies such as the Explorer Travel or the Explorer 360. So yeah, so that's my way of promoting the Philippines, and as well as making sure that they are being taken care of. They are being taken care of by someone who knows how to treat people who is who is in the who likes to travel the Philippines, and give them a proper like guidance by the use of legit and like established travel agencies such as the Travel Explorer.
Yeah, I mean, right after the pandemic, maraming nag-revenge travel dyan. So, uh, a lot better if you really plan your itinerary. And I am sure, because you're going to have like more opportunities to travel, you're traveling to India very soon. I'm sure they'll be there to back you up. All right. So, Mark, maraming maraming salamat for sharing your inspirational journey. With this conversation, there's actually hope for, things that just happen naturally. Like,
Yeah.
manifestation is one thing, asking God for something is one thing, pero ang ganda sundan na meron palang mga taong binibiyayaan katulad mo na parang natural na nakaka-progress sa buhay nila na I find this refreshing, Mark, because I've spoken to a lot of other OFWs, a lot of like pageant kings as well, and may hugot palagi, may weight, may bigat. Of course, I'm
Yeah.
not saying everything is like nice and breezy about you. You also mentioned about being away from your daughter, the
Mm.
challenges of being an OFW, but somehow your story is more uplifting. Somehow it shows us a different facet na hindi naman to kailangan parang kanta ni Freddie Aguilar na sobrang struggle sa buhay. Hindi
Yeah.
naman pala to kailangan compilation ng mga madamdaming mga songs about Saudi Arabia. So, pwede naman pala mabuhay ng normal and normal na makausad sa buhay.
Yeah.
Engineer Mark Francis Avella, Mr.
Yes.
Universe Felcom KSA 2026, vying for the title of Mr. Universe 2026. Please invite our viewers, followers to support your journey. Paano ka ba namin masusundan? The floor is yours.
Yeah, hello again, everyone, and Tita, thank you for the opportunity. And yeah, you can follow me on my social media account. I am that Mark on Instagram, Mark Francis on Facebook, and Prince_Mac09 on TikTok. So may ilan-ilan na tayong following dyan. So overall, I have around 90,000 na din na collectively na followers sa social media. So hopefully you guys can support me sa journey ko, and then sana makuha natin yung Mr. Universe title, Mr. Universe 2026 title, and that would be on August 16th. That's going to be the finals night, and that would happen in India. And hopefully you guys can support me. And then this is not just for the Filipino community here in the KSA, but this is also for all the Filipinos around the world, especially to the overseas workers working outside the Philippines and being away from home. And this is also for the Philippines. So, ang dami nating achievements lately in the past few days, past few weeks, and hopefully this would be our next achievement. This is for everyone, for all the Filipinos around the world.
Ayan. Thank you very much, Mark,
Thank you.
for gracing us. And again, thank you to Exploria Travel and Exploria
Thank you.
360. Maraming maraming salamat and good luck on your journey. I'll
Thank you, Tita.
definitely be there to watch you in spirit. Diba? All right. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Tita. Thank you, Tita.